Hey ghouls and gals, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and today's video is going to be my official October TBR. Now, we know the drill. I am a mood reader, but I feel like I know what I'm going to be in the mood for October. If you can't guess from my shirt, it says horror readers only. I'm pretty much gonna be dedicated to reading horror or horror adjacent books during the month of October. I am so sure that there are a number of like spooky readathons, Halloween themed readathons. I haven't gone out and like sought any of those yet, so if you have one you're participating in, let me know down below, because I just grabbed some books that I thought would be some good books to read for October. So I'm very excited. This is like my favorite month of the year. Let's just go ahead and get into my TBR. So first off, we're starting with books that I do already own, and the first one is going to be the Illumicrate Evernight subscription box. That's coming in October. The first book came in, I think, August, and that was Silver Nitrate by Silvia Moreno Garcia, and I really loved that one, but I do know the instant I got that box in the mail, I picked that book up because I was so excited to read it. So there's one coming in October. I think I know what it is. Skip forward 30 seconds if you don't want to hear what my prediction is, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to be the new Caitlin Starling book, just based on clues. So that's probably gonna go on my TBR, but pretty much whatever I get in that October horror box, because all of the books in the Evernight subscription box are horror. It comes quarterly instead of every month, so I'll be picking that one up because I know once I get it in the mail, I'll be so excited to read it. In terms of other books that I own, it wouldn't be an October TBR if I didn't add like one King on here, okay? Give me one Stephen King book for October, all right? But this is a short story collection, For Past Midnight. I've actually heard some specific short stories in here that I'm very interested in, so I thought, I'm not big on short stories, I'm learning to love them. I love Stephen King's short stories. I've learned that I like collections by authors rather than anthologies more, so I figured if I am in a short story collection mood during the month of October, this would be a really good one. I've heard good things about this collection, so looking forward to picking this up in October. And like the cover page kind of gives autumnal vibes as well with that crescent moon, so yeah, I think it's a good pick. Next up for books I own, I'm going to be picking up Lost Gods by Brahm. I have read Slewfoot by this author. I absolutely loved it. It's one of my favorite witchy books. It's one of my favorite horror books the past couple of years, so I'm very excited to dive into this one. The artwork, so cool. Like, this is about a man who goes into the depths of the underworld to save his wife and his child, and I'm very interested. It's billed as a dark fantasy, and of course, like any Brahm book, we have gorgeous, creepy illustrations in it. So I think that this is going to be an absolute delight come October. Next book is perhaps a book that you've seen on many a TBR of mine. I've been trying to get to this since Summerween, which was in July now. I just have kept putting it off. I don't know, I'm excited, but that would be A Certain Hunger by Chelsea G. Summers, and this is about a food critic turned cannibal. This one's definitely a lot shorter than the previous two books I mentioned, so I think it's good to have a little bit of variety, read some shorter books in between some longer tomes, but you know, can't go wrong with a little book about some unhinged women cannibalism going on during October, and I really would love to read it this year. I don't know, again, why, I haven't gotten into it yet, but I'm excited. Next up, we have my stack of books from the physical library. First on that list is Mr. Magic by Kirsten White, and this one is about a group of people who used to be like child stars on this TV show starring Mr. Magic, and the former child stars have to reunite to uncover the tragedy that ended their show and discover the secret of the host. So I'm very intrigued. The synopsis gives a little bit of it, like traveling back to uncover childhood trauma, a little bit of Five Nights at Freddy's with maybe like some very cutesy childhood things that should be cute and then turn into something monstrous. Excited to pick this up. Next up, we have probably one of my non-exclusively horror picks on the list, but I figured I'm reading horror all month long, and you know, maybe I'll need something in between horror reads to keep things fresh, not get burnt out on a specific genre. So I'm gonna be picking up The Shadow Cabinet by Juno Dawson. This is the second book book in the, I'm not sure what the series is called, book 2 of the HMRC trilogy. I read Her Majesty's Royal Coven last year. I really enjoyed it. It's about a group of witches who have to kind of get together to stop the unchosen one, or the one who will bring about the death and destruction of the world. But maybe, just maybe, this bringer of destruction turns out to be a child, and they have to determine whether or not, you know, nature versus nurture, they can help stave off that impending sense of doom. So in this second installation, it says that our group of childhood friends and witches must choose between what's right and what's easy if they have any hope of keeping their world from tearing apart forever. The last book, the first book, but the last book that I read in this series, the first book in this series, what a mouthful, ended on such a cliffhanger. I'm very excited to dive into this one. I'm very curious. It's gonna change the game. As always, such like a fun, spooky, neonish cover. I'm in love. I'm excited to get to this one. And hopefully I love this book as much as the first book in this series. Next up is one of my most anticipated horror reads that came out this year, and that would be Schrader's Chord by Scott Leeds. I'm so excited to read this. I really love like haunted or cursed object media. And this is about a man named Charlie. Yes, Charlie Rennick, and his estranged father dies mysteriously. Charlie returns to Seattle to help with the funeral. There he discovers his father left him 2 parting gifts: the keys to the family record store and a strange black case containing 4 antique records that, according to legend, can open a gate to the land of the dead. And instead of leaving this alone, Charlie, his sister, and their 2 friends obviously play the records, and weird spooky stuff starts happening from there. So looking forward to checking out this one. I've heard a lot of great things. This is probably gonna be one where I want to pick up like October 1st because I will be so excited to read it. And then next up is my holds from Libby, and these are the ones that just, you know, I feel like are going to probably be the most tentative on my TBR because, you know, I don't know if I'll get them in time, but I am gonna quickly go through all of my holds that I think I probably should get to by October. So I'm gonna pop my screen up here. But first we have Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. I think this is like a thriller. I've really enjoyed the past 2 thrillers that she has written. Don't know a lot about it. I prefer to go into thrillers blind. Next we have Whale Fall, which is, I think, like kind of like Moby Dickinson, almost in a way, where a man gets stuck inside a whale, like aquatic horror. I'm very intrigued for that. We've got Mystery Magic on hold for audiobook. We've got A Certain Hunger on hold. Both of those I just don't know what format that I'm going to want to read them in. Madalena in the Dark, that one's, I feel like, dark academia adjacent. It's historical fiction about some young girls who are in like this prestigious music academy. I think it's also sapphic, so we could do that as well, but that is coming on 8 weeks, so I'm not too sure if I'll get the hold in by time. And then of course we also have Schrader's Chord by Scott Leeds. So we'll see if I get those. And then I also have some books on Libro FM that I'm looking forward to reading. Right now, I'm currently in the middle of a buddy read with my mom with Vampires of El Norte. I probably will still be reading that in October. We also have Rouge by Mona Awad. I think that's also going to be like a horror or a dark fantasy. The Site by Melanie Golding. And again, this one I got through an ARC with Libro FM. I think that one is also supposed to be kind of a thriller. I think that takes part in like an amusement park or something like that from the cover. I'm not too sure, just it was a cover pick, but I do think it's like horror thriller adjacent. And then A Haunting on the Hill by Elizabeth Hand. This is one that I'm very much looking forward to because it's like an official continuation of the Haunting of Hill House story, which has like been approved by Shirley Jackson's estate. So I'm super excited. So it's the first ever novel authorized to return to the world of Shirley Jackson. It's a new story taking place, a haunting on a hill. Yeah, So that one's gonna be an October read as well. So those are all of my reading plans for the month of October. Definitely going to be going to see some movies. The new Exorcist movie is coming out. I'm sure there are so many more that I'm blanking on at the moment. Mike Flanagan has a new Fall of the House of Usher Netflix original series coming out, which I'm very excited about. I will devour anything that man creates. I'm so excited for that. Additionally, I also try to, not that I don't already have enough on my plate in October, watch a horror movie every single day, or at least watch 31 horror movies in October. So I'll be doing that as well. It's gonna be a horror-filled month, that is for sure. But that is the end of this very ambitious October TBR. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give a like, leave a comment down below letting me know what you're reading in the month of October. Subscribe to my channel for all the cozy gaming and bookish content. Stay safe, keep it creepy, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye!